Welcome to The Vault, where we reveal some of the best kept secrets for success. Our show is designed to introduce you to industry professionals in TV, movies, music, sports, and business. Now, our goal is for you to learn from their wealth of information and use it to realize your dreams. Today's guest is a woman of many talents, a model, a martial artist, an action hero for the video game Call of Duty, and much, much more. Introducing Tess Kielhamer. All right, welcome to The Vault. If you guys have ever wanted to meet a Bond villain, a ninja assassin, you guys are in for a real treat today. Tess Kielhamer is the perfect mixture of runway versus runaway. What I mean by that is you don't let her model looks fool you, because she is a straight up martial artist expert who can beat up anyone in her path, causing them to run for the hills. Welcome to The Vault.
Hi, Alex.
Woo! Glad to have you. We're so excited.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is you are a martial artist.
Yes.
Tell us how you got started doing martial arts.
Okay, well, I pretty much grew up more as a dancer, but I was also doing martial arts while I was growing up. But my mother did have a dance school, and I had like a million older brothers that did martial arts. So I was on a parallel with them. And it wasn't until I saw the movie Hero with
Jet Li.
Yes, that I was like, I completely changed the course of my, career, and I was like, that's it. I got to move to Hollywood, and that's where I, pursued. I actually started to pursue this particular style of martial arts, wushu, out in the Bay Area, and then took that to Hollywood, which, being in this industry, you have to know every type of martial arts, and then that led me to, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and MMA, and open even more doors. So it's been a long journey in martial arts, and it's never ending.
So we've done a lot of talk, but now it's time to show. Show, don't tell is a very important phrase that I believe in, and I want you guys to see the kick-ass video of Tess in action.
How we do it, yeah.
Oh my God, I love that video. It is so crazy. It is like when I first saw that, actually I edited it down a little bit, but the first time I saw your promo on YouTube, I was just like, I need her to be in the next action movie that I direct, because like you just, with the swords, and you got like the cool moves, kicking guys' asses and flipping them around. And
Thanks.
I don't know, it's just like, that's everything I love. We got guns, gadgets.
Yeah, I brought my swords. These are the same swords that were in the video.
All right, so we'll get to that. That was my secret reveal you just gave away to everyone. All right, that's okay. It's okay. So I want to ask you, who were some of your influences, like let's say movie influences in regards to martial arts?
Okay, actually, I'd say the most prominent would be, for martial arts, would be Jet Li movies. I really enjoyed his style throughout the movies. And like I said previously about, Hero, and that was just such a beautiful movie. But other people who influenced me growing up, because I did grow up as a performer, I was just always in awe and very inspired by just how performers just really touched people, you know what I mean? And that's how we are as artists, we're meant to touch people and change people's lives. So especially seeing things live and feeling how audiences felt from a live performance, and that influenced me as well. So
I love it. Mm-hmm. So I had read that you also like Jackie Chan. Can you talk about why?
Well, because he was able to add the comedy element,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, he was just he was full of charisma, and it just very, very high energy, and just everyone loved to watch him. You know what I mean? Everyone loved him.
Yeah, I love
There's
Jackie
no one
movies.
that doesn't love Jackie
His
Chan.
movies are awesome. Just him jumping through ladders and jumping off
and he's a good
rooftops.
person too.
Yep,
Like he's
yep.
a very good person. You know, from what I've read of how he cares for wildlife and all sorts of things.
Philanthropic guy. Yeah. So I got to segue.
It's important to be a good person too. Maybe.
So they always tell you in martial arts training to never use your martial arts training, right? Like that's like at least when I grew up doing a little bit of stuff, not at the level you are, they said, hey, only use it if you have to defend yourself. Have you ever had to use your martial arts training in the real world, not like in a fight like that you got paid to do?
Not that much, because I'll tell you why. Because I also teach a lot of self-defense and combatives. You never want to put yourself in that situation in the first place. A true martial artist is never wanting to like show off their skill or like, first of all, concrete's unforgiving. Real life situations, they just never go well. So I always tell people that I train, first of all, be aware of your surroundings and don't even end up in that situation. If it is a real life street situation, the best thing to do is to get out of there. But most people should be more empowered and know more of how to protect themselves if they're not able to. So I'm a pretty calm person. I'm not going to say I'm reclusive. I actually don't go out much at all, so I probably don't even put myself in enough situations to like to ever.
You're like a hermit.
Yeah,
Martial arts
I'm
hermit,
an
a ninja
artist.
hermit?
I'm an artist. If I'm not training, I'm training more.
Yeah.
So,
you're always hustling.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said again, I'll really emphasize that. Just don't put yourself in those situations.
So real quick, while we're talking, I want my control room. Let's show some photos of her in action while we're talking about this martial arts stuff, because there's some really cool photos that I want to share. So on the screen, as you can see right there, we've got you boxing. Like talk to us about your MMA career, and like I know that you're starting up potentially.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments and.
You were a champion?
Yes, I'm
tell me.
a no-gi world champion in jiu-jitsu, and I've also been training my striking and like boxing and Muay Thai for a long time too. So my coach and management is looking for my first professional fight. So
jiu-jitsu world champion, you should say at the top of every rafter from the loudest decibel level possible. Not so quiet. You're so like so humble. I love it. But at the same time, I mean, you are a badass.
Oh, thank you.
So you're going to be fighting potentially in the octagon. Potentially where? Like we don't know.
I'm waiting. There was a venue in March, and there's not as many girls as there is guys, so it's a little bit harder to find the right matchup, and so. But of course, I'll let everyone know of who follows me of when it's going to be. So. But that's also why I'm not posting right now. I'm not posting as much.
It's kind of a secret right now, but this is the vault, and this is where all the secrets live, right? So you're in a safe space.
I'm in a safe space.
Let's talk about. I love seeing how on your social media you have photos of you literally like the only person in the gym, the only female, where you're up against like 10 guys, training at all hours. Tell us about how that's almost like a family environment, right?
It is a family environment. I love my teammates. Everyone's really supportive. There are other girls, of course. There's girls out there also doing MMA. There's just not as many. So, it's usually only like one or two per gym if there are, females. But it's building up more and more now. But as far as the gyms I train at, I love them. They're tough. They're tough places to train at. Everyone's almost as professional, and I love the environment I get to train in.
So I didn't tell you this, but I have two. You do know I have two daughters, 7 and 10 years old. And I told them that you were my guest today, and I showed them some of these videos. And I just love having strong female influencers out there who can be a role model to my kids. And my daughters, I don't know if they want to be a MMA fighter, but they love like the superhero genre, Wonder Woman, and my older daughter wants to be president. So, I think that's great that you are also by defact, a role model.
Well, thank you. I mean, even the video game stuff I grew up with, I remember playing Mortal Kombat with my brothers, like in the summer. And I remember saying out loud, when I grow up, I want to be one of them. And what are the odds that I'm like doing, in video games? So it can happen. It's not out of this world,
So you
set a goal as a little kid and then make it happen.
You're jumping a little ahead, but this is a great segue. So let's talk about this next video clip that we have where you are a movie character fighting a video game character. So let's roll this clip, and then I'll talk about it after. This is clip number 2, Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake.
Oh.
Stop shooting! Oh, shit. All right, this better work. Okay, almost there. Hey, stop. All right. 2 things, all right? Stop hitting me. Are you busy later?
So that video is part of a series made by Bat in the Sun, which is a very
Yes.
well-known versus channel on YouTube, where they have Wonder Woman versus
Whatever it
Wolverine,
is,
you know, Batman versus Darth
Unlimited.
Vader. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like working for Bat in the Sun?
It was amazing. You know, he's very artistic. He really gets a vision and makes it happen. So I've known him since literally probably my very first couple months when I moved into Hollywood, and so I've seen his growth along, and I'm just happy that I was able to be Lara Croft in that.
So when
it was a hard shoot though. I mean, it was like 110 degrees out in that desert. It
man.
was like it actually took like 3 days, but it was like blazing hot. But we made it
pulled
happen.
off. And actually, the whole video is on Bat in the Sun, their YouTube page. So when you say he, you're talking about Aaron, who is
Yes.
the guy who's the
director.
director of all the
Yes.
Bat in the Sun versus videos. So we're gonna get him on the show hopefully. So you're
Yeah.
gonna, Aaron, I know you're out there. This is where we want you, in the vault. You're coming up next for it. We're coming for you. So, you know, what's really cool about these cosplay videos is that they kind of parlayed into a successful career in video games. And can you start to give us a little bit of information? Like, we're going to roll this clip while we're talking of you at Activision. So let's show the Activision photo first. Just her in all her glory at the studio at Activision. And while we're waiting for that graphic to pop up, you know, tell us what it was like working there.
It's amazing working for Activision. I've actually been at Activision for almost 7 years now. So I've been in most of the games. You know, even back when, you know, I don't know if some of you remember the X-Men video game. I even worked on that, and a bunch of other games. So, but even most of the Call of Duties, this Black Ops 4 in particular, has been really special to work on. And
so let's watch this video of you on Black Ops 4, kicking some butt. Maybe you can give us a play-by-play of what we're seeing here.
okay, all right, that's, you know, one of my characters.
What's her name?
Scarlet.
Okay, Scarlet, the character, and here you are in the motion capture studios,
Yes.
fighting zombies.
Yes.
Using your sword play to
Yes.
just defeat the bad guys.
And they're such an amazing team. Like, it really. So we're the super squad.
And so you put those sensors on, and it basically tracks all your movement, and
Yeah.
then.
And some days we have it on the face, but then we have a different, you know, equipment for the head when we
Okay.
do facial capture.
And you were telling me that this actual experience made you a better actress. Tell me why.
Oh my gosh, because all of 2018, like, we were here a lot, and especially for the facial capture, because video games they're just like, they're so theatrical now. There's so many theatrical scenes, and just the tiny detail for these lead characters of, you know, just such subtle reactions is caught that, you know, like, it just had to be so perfect. And then it wasn't until, like I said, I was working on another set where I just noticed my acting just jumped like leaps and bounds just from this whole last year of Black Ops 4.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, so it was truly a blessing.
So how long has this game been out?
I think it came out in October 12th, I think. Was the
So
date.
have you noticed like a big influx of fans now who just want to like talk to you now?
Not really.
No?
Not too many people know that I'm
you're
the
Black
Black Ops
Scarlet?
girl.
Well,
Yeah.
now you guys know she is Scarlet from this game, as well as another character named Battery.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we do. So there's the female, you know, gameplay modes, and then but we also have to do like the Super Squad. We also have to do like the regular gameplay character modes, you know, which takes forever, and we also have to be the zombies. And
Oh, so you're also a zombie.
yeah, yeah, like
Yeah?
we
Can you
have to
show
do
me
it
your
all.
best zombie techniques? Here you're like,
It was really fun being zombies.
what is this thing called again?
That's my
Deploy-
chain whip. I had to be a little bit
Chain whip.
slower than normal with it
Man.
because the little balls that are attached on us, like I didn't want
You don't
the
break
chain
anything?
I didn't want the chain to get attached onto like the suit, and then because at the end of a chain whip is a very heavy pointed metal dart. And it's very unforgiving, so you have to be really careful the momentum you start swinging it in.
Oh yeah, you could do some damage with that thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk about we'll cut away from these clips right now. But now that you've had a lot of these great accomplishments that we've gone over, this is the part of the show where we talk about some of the challenges that you've overcome to get where you are today. So you are used to beating everyone up and all that, but when did life actually kick your ass?
Well, first of all, I can start from like very, very, very beginning, but but that will take like a whole like million hours. So I think one of the pivotal points is even when you showed that Lara Croft video, and so many of my other really big internet series I was doing when I was really building my fan base, I was living in the most unlivable situation ever. Certain subsequent events through when I was living in Hollywood, one thing led to another, and that's a whole nother story. I ended up out in near Orange County, a little bit like kind of near Santa Ana, but. So I had to live behind a gym in like this, I showed you this trailer with like.
Wait, hold on. We're going to show this graphic here. Can we show the graphic of the trailer that she's talking about? All right. So talk us through this a little bit.
Well, yeah, that was, the entrance to it. And so.
So this is a gym.
And there was no running water.
And you're not living in a house. You're living in
so
a
I had
what?
to shower.
So let's go to the next photo.
I had to shower in the gym.
Okay, so you lived in that trailer right there.
And on the other side was the martial arts gym. And.
So how did you get this thing? How did you get this?
It was just parked behind the gym, and the gym owners
let you stay there?
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, I still had to pay to like live there.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
California rent. Hey, California rent is not cheap, no matter where you live.
I would get so many like things like on Facebook, like, oh, I wish I was doing what you were doing if I was like lucky enough, and I'm like, please, you have no idea. So, but anyways, like living in that situation, like. All I could do, because I was right behind the gym, I literally trained like 12 hours a day, and that's when my weaponry just went through the roof, and then not only that, that's when I embarked on my jiu-jitsu
But it caused you
MMA.
to focus. It caused you to focus.
Really,
There's no
it really
distractions.
forced me to focus.
You literally were like at rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
And you had to make those 20 steps to get to the gym, let's say, every day.
Yeah, literally
and then
just across the
20
parking lot.
steps to get back, and just focus on what was really, the thing you wanted to grow in, right?
Yeah, which was my martial arts, which is one of the reasons, another reasons that I left LA, Hollywood. Like I said, I'm definitely more of a person that's to myself, so I don't engage in most of the socializing, what everyone says you're supposed to do in LA, and I'm like, I just can't. So in a way, I almost kind of gave up on that for a while. It's like, what do I really love? I love martial arts, and so many people just think you're ridiculous. Oh, say things of how I was, that I should just focus on acting, and girls are going to be good martial artists, just the most ridiculous things I would hear.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I want to go focus on my martial arts. That's
good.
what I want to do.
Yeah, you gotta silence the voices.
And now I also teach. I also teach people how to.
So you just got to silence the voices of all the haters, and like you said, you're now creating a new generation of fighters.
Even when I was living there at that gym, like there was a lot of people that because I was beginning phases of some of my striking, and they'd be like, you should quit. They'd tell me you should quit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just ridiculous things I'd hear. Some people would pick on me. It seemed like they were happy to see me in that difficult situation. At night, some of the guys would kick the trailer while I was trying to sleep. Because sometimes people they see someone in a low spot, but I'm just no matter what, you just keep going, just working, just doing the best you can through everything.
Okay, so you just mentioned how hard it was to live in a trailer, probably low on money, low on funds, and just trying to live your dream. But that's not even your lowest of low. Can you tell me about your rock bottom that you told me about?
Well, first of all, I don't consider any of these lowest of lows or rock bottom. It's just we're constantly going through death and rebirth. So I don't consider any of it lowest of lows. However, just another moment that I am proud of myself, I'll say it that way, is this was only 3 years ago, actually, exactly, pretty much. I had my NDE, and I had...
Near-death experience?
Yes. It was pretty much after I did win the Worlds in Jiu-Jitsu. They found a tumor, and so it was a 12-hour surgery. I had my NDE, and, I do have,
What was it?
Where was it?
No, what was the issue that they had to do surgery on?
It was a tumor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I actually, I was just in so much pain. I couldn't even really walk well, and so it was just another moment. I thought, my career was done. But it made me that much even more spiritual. I don't know if any of you have looked into NDEs and what people go through that. So that's a whole another thing I actually even want to write about at some point. So it just goes back to, again, of me saying, no matter what, keep moving forward. 6 weeks out of that surgery, I was back into jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
4 weeks out of that 12-hour surgery, I was back on set. And so what did I do? I actually didn't even tell anyone in the industry of what I was going through, because, I just didn't want it to affect anything. And you just keep moving forward. You just keep doing it, yeah.
So you lived in a trailer, you had a near-death experience, now you're going to do movies and live in a trailer again.
No, don't say that.
Full cycle. No, a movie trailer this time.
A movie trailer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, movie
so
trailer.
you already know what it's like. You've kind of manifested that, and so now it's all part of the success routine here.
Absolutely.
I could tell this is hard for you to talk about, but how did you get from that to where you are now? What was the turning point?
I just didn't. I didn't stop. I didn't stop at all. I could have tried to, because I'm originally from Northern California, I could have gave up easily. I could have gave up easily at that point, be like, no, I have to move way back home, try to see if any family can let me get back on my feet. I didn't accept that as an option. When I moved to Southern California, I burnt my ships. Do you know what I mean,
Yep.
so to speak?
Yep.
I burnt my warships. There's not an option to give up. So I just had my goal in mind. I was like, oh, I saw that hero movie.
Yeah, I love it.
And so, and eventually I found another place after that, and then into another place, and finally got into a normal situation. And even then, up until before the Black Ops 4, I would, through all the training I'd have to do, I'd be working 2-3 jobs at a time, normal jobs I was doing, and I'd still get things of oh, I wish I could have the lifestyle you have. I'm like, look, you just have to try, so. If
people only knew, really.
Yeah,
they
people
see
only really
the
knew.
fancy fighting videos.
They see the fancy stuff that I put out, these elaborate videos, and they have no idea about the other side,
Well, and I even saw, as I was doing research on you, that you were crowdfunding those videos.
Yeah, I would only crowdfund for maybe $800. I'd really only just for to cover costumes and stuff like that, because, it was.
You can't do it all. I mean, you were making the costumes, right?
A lot of the costumes I did make. Yeah, absolutely. So, and like I said, I didn't move out here to try to do this with my parents' money or anything like that. None of that was available anyways, so.
Self-made.
All self-made.
Love it.
So far, and there's way more to go, so.
Yeah, well, this journey
go.
is great. It looks like, there's just a lot to come. So, this show is all about, and you've already talked a lot about some inspirational topics, but this show is all about, what are your secrets to success? They live in the vault. And I always ask everyone on my show, what are some of the things that you would give other people who are in your situation as advice? What secrets live in your vault?
The first thing I thought of when you said that is it's like having those blinders that horses have on, and it's just stay focused. You're going to hear all these things, you're going to see all these things, and you just have to have your little horse blinders on. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course. Tunnel vision.
Yeah, total tunnel vision, and just, you can't let anything that's going on around you affect your direct path. And it's even if you got to start cutting a lot of people out of your life, you have to do everything you can do to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think that's a thing I hear quite often, and I think martial arts is a great discipline. It's all discipline, willpower.
If someone has to start at a beginning phase with everything. So whenever someone's in a beginning phase, there's always people on the side making fun of that person. Yeah, give that person 5 years, 10 years, they're not going to be making fun of that person anymore. You know what I mean?
And then they want to follow you.
And then they want to follow. But they're always going to make fun of you in the beginning phase.
Yep.
And they're always going to say stuff that makes you, think less than yourself, whatever, I, especially in that trailer situation, that's when I found a lot of inspirational speakers that I found,
Are you a spiritual person?
Yes. I mean, I was listening to a lot of Wayne Dyer, Joel Osteen, and I was even watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z. So all three of those.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Joel Osteen and Dragon Ball Z and Wayne Dyer all lifted me up. Because it was really important, to hear those encouraging words. Even I still do that today. I still wake up.
You have to. It's a daily regimen.
I wake up and I put on positive manifestation, subconscious things so it's as I'm getting ready in the morning. Those words are you just keep hearing those words and it matters metaphysically. It does matter.
I love it. Would you mind talking to our camera as if this was your mentee and give them I know you already gave us some gems. Here's some gems right here, but give them one more as if you're talking right to them.
My advice is, like I said before, don't stop. You have to keep moving forward no matter what. If that fire and that passion for whatever it is, you feel it inside you, you have to keep going for it through any adversity, no matter how small the step is, every day, just tiny steps towards it, or big steps. You just have to, or else would you rather sacrifice, would you rather make small sacrifices of through your day, or would you rather be on your deathbed with the biggest regret of all of dying with your music still inside you? Because I think that would be the worst pain of all.
So, no regrets. I love it. You want to live a life with no regrets. We're going to do a speed round. So, my social media team, can you just give me the phone real quick? I just want to, that one right there, yeah. We got just a minute to go through speed round of what our social audience is saying.
Okay.
And you just got to answer them quick.
Okay.
So,
put on the spot.
We love your work. Would love to see you in the next Fast and Furious or Mission Impossible. What's your answer?
Oh my God, I would too.
You do it? Would you do it?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah? That's a no-brainer?
No-brainer.
All right. Next one, hold on. Is a career in the UFC in your future? Speed round.
Call me, Dana.
Yeah, Dana White, you heard her? Okay. I saw you on stage doing hip-hop dancing. What's that all about?
I actually do a lot of dancing, like I said, and so in the freestyle throwback concerts for the old school hip hop and stuff like that, I got I perform in those. So
Okay.
For different
last
artists.
Last question. I love your online nutrition tips. Could you train me?
Yes.
Yeah?
I can. I have so much knowledge I want to share.
So you do, give me a 5 second, you do that stuff? Like nutrition training and strength training?
It's a huge passion of mine of what goes in the body.
All right, so maybe we'll get you a show here to talk about that. That'd be really exciting.
I would love to.
All right. So last thing is, where do you live online?
I live
your
on
Instagram handle, your face.
Instagram. I have.
At what?
And it's all Tess Kielhamer. Everything's Tess Kielhamer. TessKielhamer. And so that's going to be on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and my YouTube channel.
All right, so another segment we have at the Vault is we want people to show us what their most valuable, priceless item is. So Tess, what do you got?
I have my swords. But you know what? This is a double set. So let me get out my other sword.
All right, I'm going to move this gun.
These are my double swords.
Oh my God, the giant katanas. What are these called? What kind of swords?
No, these are broadswords. These are my favorite swords. So I've had these forever, and these are my swords. These are my precious items.
Yeah,
they're right in my bedroom.
This is what you cut your food with at home?
No.
Silly Alex.
I know, but yeah, no. You asked me what they are, so I was like, well.
Yeah, so give me a little bit of backstory of these things. They're
You know,
amazing.
no one wanted me to do double broadsword. They're like, okay, only guys mainly do double broadsword, like, you know, train in that, you know. And so I was like, no, I've always had a passion. I was like, I want to be really good. Careful, I normally don't let other people.
Oh, okay.
I normally don't. Okay. So
Like, you're
anyways,
holding it wrong.
no one wanted to teach me and double broadsword, so I kind of was trying to learn on my own. Eventually, I got someone to help me with it, and you know, again, people were like making fun of me, you know, in the beginning phases, because of course when you begin, you know, you're not the best, and then eventually people are like, oh wow, like now everyone wants to use me for double broadsword stuff.
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean, you're a master at these things.
Thank you.
They feel kind of loose. Is that part of it?
In competition standards for Wushu, this top percentage is meant to be loose. I don't know exactly why someone said that people were getting hurt or whatever, but they do dull the blade as best as they can, and then the top does have to be softer and more malleable.
Wow. Any last things you want to talk about these swords? I mean, what else is like really important about them?
Well, just like I said, how no one wanted to teach me this, but I knew in my heart that I always wanted to be very good at double broadsword. And so again, it's just, they mean a lot to me because I again did something that everyone said I wasn't going to be able to do.
All right, so if you guys want to be a guest on this show, we would love to have you. We're looking for people, once again, top in the entertainment, sports, and business industry, inspirational content, people who are movers and shakers. We want you on our show, and thanks again for watching The Vault.